Hello, lovely souls. Welcome to today's reading. I'm so glad you've joined us, as I sense there's a reason you've found your way here. This reading is all about tuning into the collective energies and channeling some insights that will hopefully bring you clarity and guidance. If you're watching this, I truly feel there's a message for you. Whether it's something you hear directly or something that stirs deep within your heart. Right from the start, I'm picking up on an important idea that might resonate with some of you. The message you need today may not be found in the words themselves, but rather in the way those words or frequencies activate something inside of you. You might notice that certain phrases or ideas spark realizations or moments of inspiration that you weren't expecting. Trust that these triggers are guiding you towards something important. Take a moment right now to pause this video and do 3 things. First, hit that like button to show your support. Second, subscribe to help us reach 10,000 subscribers. And third, drop a comment with the number 11. This special number will send a powerful signal to the universe, amplifying the energy of this message. For one person in particular, the name Sophia is coming through strongly. I don't know if this name holds significance for you, but I feel its presence as part of the energy here today. Along with this, I'm being reminded of the importance of being selective about the frequencies you allow into your space. Everything around us, every person, object, environment, and even substance has its own unique frequency. At this moment in time, it's especially vital to pay attention to the energy you're surrounding yourself with. But it's not just about the physical or tangible effects of these frequencies. It's about how they feel to you on a deeper, more intuitive level. The energies around you are not just influencing you, they're also triggering something within you, whether it's realizations, insights, or inspiration. You might notice that some things stay with you longer, subtly shifting your mindset or emotions long after you've interacted with them. This is how powerful frequency can be. One thing that's coming through very clearly today, and I'm already sensing this reading will be quite quantum in nature, is that these messages need time to sink in. So, I invite you to take a moment to settle in, maybe grab a cup of your favorite tea, coffee, or whatever feels soothing to you as you listen. I've got my coffee here, and I feel that the energy of this reading asks us to slow down and truly absorb the insights. This isn't a typical reading. It's going to dive deeper into the layers, so let yourself sit with these messages as they unfold. As I tune into the energies, I'm picking up on someone here who is navigating environments, people, or situations that are calling for a more intuitive and gradual approach. There may be external pressures from others, or even from society as a whole, pushing you to make quick decisions or snap judgments before you feel fully ready. But the way you're interpreting energy right now is different. It's slow, automatic, and deeply intuitive. People around you might see this as a slow process, but it's exactly how you're meant to operate in this moment. It's all part of your discernment and the way you're meant to navigate this phase of your journey. I'm picking up on something important here. Beautiful souls. There are certain people, energies, or environments in your life right now that need time to settle with you. It's like they need space to breathe so you can truly feel how they're impacting you. This is particularly relevant when it comes to dating, friendships, and your work life. Often, the best way for you to understand the energy of a relationship or any situation is to allow yourself to connect with it, experience it fully, and then give it time to sit within you. Only then can you really sense its effect on your energy. For some of you, this might be especially relevant as new people, opportunities, or situations begin to enter your life. I'm seeing an image of an all-you-can-eat buffet with an endless array of choices laid out before you. This feels symbolic of the many options now available to you, whether it's new pathways, potential timelines, or a wide variety of people and opportunities. The universe seems to be presenting you with a smorgasbord of possibilities. But here's the thing. With so many options, it's more important than ever to step into a higher level of discernment. You have the ability to truly tune into what's right for you, so never doubt yourself. I can sense that there may be some external pressure or influences trying to rush you, or even gaslight your process. Perhaps some people, or society as a whole, might want you to make quick decisions without fully sitting with the energy of what's in front of you. But I'm here to remind you, it's okay to take your time and really feel out what aligns with your soul's truth. And if you do decide to change your mind later, that's perfectly okay too. You may feel called to explore a certain connection, opportunity, or situation, only to realize later on that it's affecting your energy in a way that feels off or even draining. That's when it's important to honor your feelings and pull back if needed. Trust yourself in this process. You are attuned to your own energy, and if something isn't resonating, it's okay to let go. Now, here's something fascinating that I'm receiving. I just saw a tiger. Let me share the symbolism behind this, as it feels significant. You know how much I love to explore symbolism, and this one is too powerful to ignore. I recently came across a post that mentioned how tigers, in their natural environment, are often not as visible to other animals because their orange colour blends with the surroundings. This is because many animals don't see colours the same way humans do. To us, tigers are bright and stand out, but to certain other creatures, they blend in perfectly. This is a beautiful metaphor for your energy. You are like that tiger, radiant, unique, and full of layers of light and colour. But some people, due to their limited perception, just like those animals who can't see the full spectrum of colours, are unable to fully perceive you. It's not that your energy isn't there or that it's not felt, but rather that they can't quite see it in its entirety. And that's okay. It's not a reflection of your worth or vibrance. It's just that some people, and even some situations, lack the depth to fully recognize the multidimensional being that you are. This is a reminder for you to trust your own perception, to honor your unique energy, and to not be discouraged when others can't fully see you. It's not about you. It's about their ability to understand the deeper layers of reality. And remember, you don't need to explain or prove your worth to anyone. The right people will recognize your brilliance in time. There's something really strong coming through here, and I feel it's important to share this with you. You might be experiencing moments where you feel almost invisible. It's as if you're putting so much effort into being seen for who you truly are. But certain people or situations simply don't have the capacity to perceive your full essence. It can be disheartening, especially when you're putting out your energy with authenticity and intention, only to feel like others can't quite see you for all that you are. But I want you to know this. Those who are capable of perceiving higher frequencies, those who are attuned to deeper energy levels, see you. To them, you are nothing short of extraordinary. You radiate power, beauty, and magnetism. This is just who you are. No filters or pretenses. You don't need to prove your worth to anyone because your energy speaks for itself. Much like the tiger in the wild, with its stunning orange coat blending into the environment, you too are a being of extraordinary beauty and strength. But only those with the perception to see beyond the surface will truly witness your magnificence. The tiger also symbolizes strength, courage, and fearlessness. For those who are capable of tuning into your full presence, you are magnetic and commanding respect. There's no denying your power. You may not always be seen by everyone, but you are certainly noticed by those who can feel the true depth of your energy. Your essence cannot be hidden, even when it feels like others are blind to it. As I've been channeling these messages, another line came through that really caught my attention. The importance of closing the door. And yes, I felt a strong wave of chills when I heard that. For some of you, there may be a specific door that needs to be closed in order to step into greater clarity and strength. It feels like there's a strong Taurus energy around this, related to stability and grounding. Perhaps you've been holding on to certain things or people that are no longer serving your growth, and it's time to close that door to protect your peace. What's even more interesting is that as I continued channeling, the message evolved to include this line. Knowing which doors to close is just as important as knowing which ones to open. There's so much wisdom in this, and I can't emphasize it enough. It's a beautiful reminder that not every opportunity or connection is meant to be pursued. Sometimes, walking away from certain things is just as powerful as stepping toward new ones. For many of you, those open doors might represent people or situations with which you've had open lines of communication. Perhaps at one point, these connections or opportunities felt exciting, magnetic, and full of potential. But now, as you reflect on how they're affecting you, you might notice that they're draining you, distracting you, or, dare I say, disrupting your energy. And that word, disruption, keeps coming through so strongly. If you've been feeling disruptions in your life, especially in the form of digital communication, like phone glitches, social media issues, or even email confusion, there's definitely something to pay attention to. If any of this resonates with you, I'd love to hear about it. Leave me a comment below and let me know if you've been noticing these disruptions in your own life. Sharing our thoughts, struggles, and insights really helps us all feel seen and less alone in this journey. And speaking of comments, I just want to take a moment to say how much I appreciate each and every one of you who takes the time to share. Your words, perspectives, and experiences are not only valuable to me, but to so many others in this community. You are making a difference by sharing. I don't know why I felt so strongly to mention this, but I feel like it's also an important reminder for you. You are a voice of reason. In your everyday life, you offer people the validation and understanding they need. You make others feel seen and heard in ways that can change their entire perspective. Your energy has a ripple effect, even when you don't realize it. So, don't ever underestimate the importance of this gift you offer to the world. As you move through life, know that you're already embodying this incredible power of connection and understanding. Your presence is enough. The world needs your authenticity, your wisdom, and your ability to make others feel seen. Keep shining, beautiful soul. Let's dive back into the idea of closing some of those doors we've been talking about, because there's more to this than meets the eye. I'm sensing that some of the doors we're speaking about aren't just physical, they're energetic. In fact, I'm getting a strong message that some of these open lines of communication, which may appear inactive on the surface, are still very much active energetically. It's like there's this telepathic thread still connecting you to certain people with whom you no longer have regular contact or connections that have faded over time. Even though you might not physically be engaging with these individuals, something is still happening beneath the surface. These lines of communication, while not always obvious, are still affecting your energy. And here's the thing. Some of these inactive lines are actually the most important ones to close. They might seem insignificant because they don't require any physical interaction or conscious engagement. But when we leave these energetic connections open, even subconsciously, they can subtly drain our energy over time, like a slow leak that builds up without us noticing. I want to share something I received about how to close these lines. When I asked for guidance on this, the image of sage came through. Now, sage could literally mean using the herb to cleanse your space, an age-old practice for clearing out stagnant energy. But more broadly, this could also symbolize the need for cleansing and grounding your own energy. It's a reminder to return to your center, to come back to yourself. Because when you're fully in your own energy, that's the strongest protection you have against external influences. When you focus on the door, you truly want to walk through. It's like you automatically close all the other doors that would distract you or pull your attention elsewhere. It's not about forcing anything to close. It's about choosing your path with full intention and walking through that door with confidence. Choosing the door that aligns with your true vision creates momentum in your life. When you make that decision, things begin to move faster than you might expect. It's like once you choose your direction, everything starts to fall into place almost effortlessly. I'm hearing that one of the first signs you'll notice when you walk through that door with full confidence is that new opportunities will begin flowing into your life in ways that feel serendipitous. The universe will start aligning you with the right people, and these people could be in powerful positions or bring valuable resources your way. Suddenly, doors will open that you didn't even know existed, and it's like the universe is bringing people into your life who are ready and willing to help you move forward with your goals. What I'm really hearing is this. The hardest part is choosing the door and walking through it. But once you make that decision, everything else will begin to unfold quickly. It's almost like the universe is waiting for you to take that first step. Then everything will start moving at a rapid pace. The opportunities, the synchronicities, the support, they'll all come pouring in as soon as you commit to that path with your whole being. When you take that step through the door with clarity, intention, and confidence, you are entering a new chapter where everything will begin to fall into place. It's as if the waiting is over and the momentum you've been waiting for will now propel you forward. You'll feel that gentle push to move, and suddenly, things will start aligning effortlessly. No more hesitation, no more looking back. Now, let's talk about these doors I'm sensing. What's interesting here is that I'm actually seeing two doors that feel mutually exclusive, as though choosing one means the other is automatically closed. While we often speak about how multifaceted and multidimensional you are, with the ability to balance different aspects of yourself, in this very specific moment, for someone reading this, these two doors feel like they simply cannot coexist. It's as though there's this pull in two different directions, and the act of choosing one path will naturally shut the other. And I can sense how this has created a feeling of being at a standstill, perhaps even making you feel stuck. There's a tension between these two possibilities, each one demanding your attention. But here's the key. Choosing one of these doors is not about forcing the other out of your life. It's about focusing your energy, your intention, and your attention on the one that calls you the most, and then gently shifting your focus away from the one that no longer serves you. But I'm hearing something interesting now. The closed door doesn't like you shifting your focus away from it. It's like that door, that situation, or that person, whatever or whoever it is, can sense you pulling away. And this creates a ripple effect. It triggers a reaction in them, which, in turn, triggers something in you. And what I'm picking up on is that there may be a feeling of guilt or responsibility, a subconscious pull to keep replaying old stories and timelines with this closed door. Here's the message I'm receiving. Allow yourself the permission to let go. There's no need to keep rehashing situations, connections, or stories that have already played out. They've already concluded, even if it doesn't feel like it. I'm getting the word closure very strongly, and I sense you may be longing for a specific kind of closure, something direct and clear. But the truth is, that closure has already arrived, just not in the way you expected. It's like there's this lingering sense of unfinished business, but if you look closely, you'll see that the closure you were waiting for has already happened. It's just come in a more subtle, unconventional way. The cycles that repeated, the unhappiness that kept resurfacing, that was the closure. The message in that pain, that sense of repetition, was that this situation was complete. It wasn't just about waiting for a specific moment or a conversation to give you closure. It was in the very fact that you kept feeling drawn back into this loop and it remained unresolved. That, in itself, was the closure. I'm hearing the unhappiness you experienced there over and over again. That sense of emotional exhaustion, reopening wounds you thought you had healed. It's as if this situation or person kept reopening a wound, replaying the same cycle without ever shifting or growing. This feels like a stubborn energy, one that resists change and keeps you stuck in a pattern that no longer serves you. But that repeated unhappiness is what gave you your closure. Seeking a more traditional form of closure, like a final conversation or some grand, dramatic ending, is only pulling you back into that loop. The closure has already arrived, and it's in the form of that repeated cycle. The unhappiness, the instability, the dysfunction. All of that was meant to show you that this chapter has already closed, even if you didn't get the closure you expected. The message is crystal clear. It's time to honor the lessons you've gained from that cycle. It's time to acknowledge that it's over, even if it doesn't feel like it ended in the way you expected. The chapter has closed, whether you got the closure you thought you needed or not. Now, the door you need to focus on is the one that leads you forward, towards your next chapter. As you put your energy into walking through that door, the old energy will naturally fade away, returning to the past where it belongs. Let it go. You are more than ready for what comes next, but I can sense there's still this pull, this subtle loop that tries to pull you back into the past. It's almost like this spiral where, no matter how many times you try to move on, there's this subconscious habit of going back, rethinking, reanalyzing. It's like searching for a conclusion that doesn't seem to come, no matter how many times you retrace your steps. But here's the thing, that was the closure, the loop, the repetition, the feeling that you didn't get what you needed. It was all a form of closure. The mind may still be searching for something more tangible, a more direct form of closure. But the truth is that the lesson has already been learned, and you've already moved beyond it. I'm hearing that for the person I'm speaking to, when you try to go back and get that closure, it's like embarking on a strange, confusing scavenger hunt. The more you search, the more elusive the answers become. And yet, as I was reflecting on this energy, I saw something else. A frog. I took a moment to look up its symbolism, and it fits perfectly. The frog is a powerful symbol of transformation, abundance, wealth, and the changing of seasons. It represents the natural cycles of growth and change, and it beautifully mirrors what's happening in your life right now. You've transformed. You've outgrown the cycle you were once stuck in. It's as if you've expanded beyond that experience, no longer confined by it. This transformation didn't happen overnight. It wasn't this dramatic, sudden shift. It was gradual, like the slow and steady growth of a child. A child doesn't grow all at once. Day by day, it's hardly noticeable. But months or years later, you look back and realize just how much they've grown. You too have undergone this gradual transformation. It was subtle, but it was steady, and now you are energetically taller, bigger, stronger, and more expansive than you were before. And here's the thing. It's so subtle that your conscious mind may still be doubting it. You may find yourself wondering, did I really outgrow this situation? Or is the growth still happening? But if you pause and take a moment to look back, the evidence is undeniable. You have changed. You have grown. You've moved beyond something that once held you back. And as I say this, I just saw 2222, a powerful number of alignment, indicating that you are exactly where you need to be. Trust in that growth. Trust in the fact that you have already transformed. You may not always see the changes on a day-to-day basis, but if you reflect on the journey, you'll see just how far you've come. The conscious mind may try to second-guess it, but the truth is clear. Your growth is happening, and it's happening naturally. So, here's the reminder. Trust the growing process. You don't need to force it, struggle against it, or worry about whether you're growing fast enough. Growth is unfolding exactly as it should, and it will continue to evolve you into the highest version of yourself. There's nothing to change outside of you. It's all happening within. And yet, there's this tendency of the mind to grasp at external things, trying to control or change what's happening around you. But the real change is internal. That's where the true power lies. It's not about controlling your external circumstances, but about surrendering to the internal transformation that's already underway. The more you trust in this, the more you'll see how everything is falling into place, just as it should. Keep your focus inward, and the external will follow suit. But here's the deeper truth that the soul is whispering. The only thing I need to change is myself. As I continue to grow, evolve, and naturally shift toward more positive, expansive directions, the external world will begin to mirror the inner transformation. The key is realizing that as I shift inwardly, everything around me will follow suit. Just like the surface always reflects what's beneath. And this brings me to a deeper insight that came through. Things on the surface versus what lies beneath. I'm talking about the contrast between light versus shadow. The conscious mind versus the subconscious. What is exposed versus what remains hidden. What we show others versus what we keep to ourselves. Take this however it resonates, because the message is layered, and I sense it will speak to different parts of you at different times. I'm seeing a vision of someone moving between different floors in a building, transitioning from the upper level, bright, open, full of light and visibility, down to a lower, quieter level, a more secluded space, almost cave-like. This lower area feels like it represents the subconscious mind, the hidden, the private, the places we keep to ourselves. And here's the message. Both are equally important. It's essential to find a balance between them. For someone listening, you may have found yourself swinging between these two realms, either immersed deeply in the subconscious, exploring the depths of your shadow and inner world, or caught up in the external, the conscious, visible realm, constantly moving, doing, and acting. The message here is about striking that balance between the two worlds, the balance of creation. It's about aligning what you're doing on the surface with what's happening beneath it. This could apply to your spiritual practices, to your energy work, or even to your day-to-day routines. Think of it as integrating inner reflection with outward action. You're not just passively waiting for things to happen or solely relying on your inner world to manifest results. No, you're being called to take inspired, aligned action, moving forward visibly and tangibly, and doing so with the balance of your inner wisdom guiding each step. I'm also seeing a literal master key, and the message I'm receiving is that this key has the power to unlock any door. But here's the catch. It's not just about having the key, it's about choosing which door to focus on. The power is in the focus. This is all about your focus, the ability to direct your energy towards the door that calls you and to pour your energy into it singularly, without distraction. And here's the more general message. Your focus is your currency right now. We often hear that energy is currency, and it's true. Just like an electric current carries energy, we too use our energy as a form of currency. Everything in life is an energetic exchange, and it manifests in the physical world, whether that's through money, relationships, work, or simply the way we interact with the world. What I'm sensing is that your currency has gone up in value, dramatically so. You may not always realize it, but others are noticing the shift. You may find that people are more drawn to your energy, that opportunities are coming to you, or that your presence holds more weight than before. It's not about doubting yourself or questioning your worth. It's just that the value of your energy has increased, and you may not yet fully grasp how much it's changed. Because of this shift, there may be moments where you still interact with people, environments, and situations as if you were the person you once were, before the rise in your energy value. But here's the thing. The old ways of interacting no longer align with who you've become. So, the message here is to recognize your energy as the powerful currency it is. Don't underestimate its worth. The more aware you are of its value, the more you'll begin to direct it intentionally, making conscious choices about where and how you invest your focus, time, and energy. And as you do this, watch how the external world starts to mirror your internal alignment. You are entering a new phase in your journey, an entirely new chapter where the awareness of your own energy and its impact has deepened. This is a time to honor your growth and embrace the expansive flow of your energy in ways that truly align with your highest purpose and well-being. Here's the thing though. Your energy has skyrocketed in value, and with that, more people, opportunities, and situations are being drawn to you like never before. It's as if they're all competing for your focus and attention in an intensified way. In the past, when your energy was at a different level, you may have been able to freely give it away without feeling drained. But now, it's a whole different ballgame. Your energy is potent, and because of that, you need to be far more intentional about where you direct it. Just to clarify, this isn't about being better or worse at any stage. It's about how much inner work you've done. You've done the healing, you've peeled back the layers, and you've cleared the blockages that many people carry. These blockages can often dilute their own energy, but for you, they've been cleared. This has allowed you to hold a very pure, potent frequency. Because of this, whatever you choose to focus on, whether it's something you're working on for yourself or someone or something outside of you, shifts quickly. You may have already noticed this. When you give focused, positive energy to something, it begins to transform rapidly, not in small, subtle ways, but in undeniable, expansive, and deeply positive ways. And once that transformation begins, it continues to gain momentum. The energy you put into something starts to attract even more people, opportunities, and possibilities. It's like your energy is a magnet, drawing in everything that aligns with it. However, with this kind of power comes responsibility. Because your energy is so potent, you'll find that people are more drawn to it than ever before. And some of them may be competing for your attention, whether consciously or not. These could be the open doors we talked about earlier, the ones that seem to be constantly available for people to come in and out of your life at will. This might look like individuals who come in and out as they please, sometimes drawing near, other times pulling away. Of course, this can be part of the natural ebb and flow in friendships and relationships, but in certain situations, especially the ones I'm picking up on right now, this in and out energy can be draining. It can feel like a disruption, and that's the word that keeps coming through for me. Disrupted. You might find that when these individuals enter your life or reconnect, it creates an energetic disruption. Instead of feeling uplifted, you might feel scattered, distracted, or drained. Their energy may not be in alignment with yours, and that misalignment creates a disruption in your flow. So, as your energy increases in value, it's essential to become more discerning about where you invest your focus and attention. Not everyone, and not everything, deserves the kind of energy you can offer. Be mindful of where you direct that powerful, pure frequency, because you now have the ability to shift your reality and the reality of those around you at an accelerated pace. A message that came through earlier during this reading is such a powerful way to discern whether you're truly connecting with someone on a soul level, or if it's more of a karmic or dissonant connection. It's really all about noticing how you feel after connecting with them. Think about this. After you've spent time with someone, does your energy feel expanded, or do you feel drained? Do they disrupt your flow, or do they actually help you stay in it? When you share a soul connection with someone, it's like their energy flows with yours. It doesn't disrupt your natural rhythm. In fact, when you're deeply in tune with your own creative, intuitive energy, flowing in that inspired, open space, and you connect with a soulmate, you won't feel any disruption. After your interaction, it will be easy to return to that flow, to that open and inspired space you were in before. But when it comes to people with whom you share a karmic or misaligned connection, the experience can be quite different. If you've been in a peaceful, creative flow before connecting with them, you might notice that after the interaction, you feel thrown off, unsettled, or even energetically drained. It's as if their energy doesn't align with yours, and suddenly, getting back to your flow becomes much more difficult. Sometimes this disruption lingers for hours, or even days. You might feel disconnected from that creative, inspired part of yourself, unable to tap into the energy that once flowed so freely. That's the impact of a dissonant connection. It pulls you out of alignment and keeps you from accessing your natural flow. I've been feeling so much energy during this reading, and I'm excited to carry this into the extended session. I actually took notes before we began today. There were so many downloads coming through. And as I've been channeling, they've woven right into the reading, creating this beautiful flow of messages. This has definitely been a bit of a unique reading for me. Normally, I don't receive downloads before a reading, but today, the energy was so strong that I had to jot some things down. I'd love to hear from you. How did you feel about this style of reading? I'm going to close this reading here, but before we wrap up, I'd love to pull a final card from the Rumi Oracle to close things out, and the card we have is Sacred Union. This is such a fascinating card to appear, especially since this reading hasn't been specifically about love or union. Yet here it is, showing up to provide even more depth. I'm curious to dive into the guidebook and see what it has to say. The guidebook reads, "This oracle comes to you as a portent, a sign of what's to come, and as a confirmation of your spiritual journey thus far. You've been working on integrating the masculine and feminine energies within. Even if you haven't used those words, you've been seeking balance between surrendering and leading. You've been learning when to allow things to unfold naturally and when to step in and take initiative. You've been working hard to release attachments to specific plans, allowing life to unfold as it will. You've been learning, step by step, to embrace love and allow it to embrace you. Such a beautiful place to close this reading. It feels like a powerful confirmation of the work you've been doing. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm sending you so much love and light.